Hey, a Jinxed Army, I am Ajinkya Dikshit and this is my channel, A Jinxed Artist. In today's video, I am at my home. We are not traveling. I am going to be showing you a very simple process that I do in Photoshop and in Snapseed as well. So let's quickly jump into Photoshop and I'll show you what this simple editing process is and how you can achieve and create great interest in your photos just a few clicks away. So let's get started.
So as you can see, this is pretty basic, very simple image. Luckily for this example, we have this clean background, but if you don't, you can achieve clean background in Photoshop. I don't have to tell you that separately. So quickly just get the basic settings done. So if you are on Patreon, you can follow my page there and support this channel as well. That way I can create more amazing videos and also afford the Adobe subscription myself. So if you are on Patreon, please subscribe to my Patreon page, and that way you can support this YouTube channel as well. And another thing that I wanted to mention is this editing process will be skipped for this video for YouTube, but I will post it for my Patreons. So if you are interested in checking this out, please go on to Patreon and find the same username and follow the page there as well. Okay, so now we have the image here in Photoshop. I'll quickly create a new document. I'm probably not sure if you'll be able to see this because for some reason the OBJ Studio records one window at a time, so even the drop downs and stuff I don't think you'll be able to see. So I'll comment through or talk through it while if there's anything missing. Anyways, dragging this image in the new document that we created, we don't need the original image now. Right click the image. Now I think you won't be able to see this right click menu options. So what I'm doing is right clicking the image and converting it to a smart object. So now we zoom it out a bit and scale down the image as per we want the frame to be. So I think I don't want the corn to be visible so much, corn and the grass. We'll have something very clean and clear, and we can scale it up because as the frame size is just 1080p, we don't have to fit in the exact size. We can scale up or scale down as per our liking. So I think this looks good. Nicely isolated bird in the center of the frame, maybe. Yeah. Okay, this looks nice. Yeah, without anything I think the older me would have just exported this by adding a watermark and just saving this image as a JPEG, but for the sake of this tutorial we'll continue with this. Okay, problem solved. And it's very helpful now. So as you might know, I'm not sure, OBS Studio has only display capture and window capture. So I was on to window capture, now I've switched to display capture. So anything I display here in Photoshop, I think we are good and it should be visible to you as well. So what I will do is add the levels adjustment again. So far I've just applied the frame size and converted our photo into a smart object. Okay, we'll add levels quickly, adjust it as per your liking, continuing with the contrasting effect. I think the more you punch in the blacks and the whites, it amplifies the image more. So for this effect, what we are going to do is we are just pushing back all the whites and creating a darker overlay on our image. So using levels will uh, help us go back without damaging the original image or the version of that. So we don't have to create multiple copies of the image and edit it. We just have to create a levels layer and use the mask on it. I've seen other people using multiple copies of the image and increasing their file size for no reason at all. So we'll follow this way and you can tell me if you like it or not. So adding the blacks, or we can say reducing the whites, we are going again. This is what you like or what you like to see in the final version. This can be of course adjusted later as well, but for our reference we are keeping it somewhere here. This is at 50 output level. Okay, what we need to do next is go back to our image, select the magic wand tool, and there is an option in the new version of Photoshop to select the subject. So I'll just click on it and let the AI do the magic. Now you can select the lasso tool, the shortcut is L of course, and delete anything that you don't want, like this leaf, and add things that you would like to see. So I would like some of this corn cob, if I may, to be included in the selection. So I'll just go around, press shift and draw the shape that I want to add. This can be rough right now because we are going to use the brush tool and mask anything that we don't like in the image later. So go back to our levels layer and select the mask, and here we can press control backspace because our background color is black and it will delete everything on our selection and it's gone. So this is very easy method to do, or to use this moody style of editing, and it's very quick and simple as well. So now if you'll see, as I said before, we can be a bit messy around our edges. So select a soft round brush, hardness can be maybe 11%, and opacity for now we'll keep 100 because we have not added the gradient that comes in later. So let's just brush in, brush out things that we don't want or want in this image. So right now, as you can see, the light comes in from the right side, so we'll add some shadows to the back side of this bird. So this is how we should go about, is what I feel. You can zoom in further, reduce the brush size and edit it as per your liking. Like I said before, this is very generic process and each image has its own way of surprising us, and we are each of us have our own way of editing. Unfortunately, what Photoshop does with a selection is it's never 100% accurate, so you always have to go back and do it manually. Now I know there is light on this side, but to blend in the edges a bit more clear or smooth, I'm going over to the other side as well. All right, now as I said before, you can zoom in, change the foreground color and go back to things that you would like to be, that you would want to be in the light, and adding shadows will actually look quite fake over here. I've always seen people recording their screen, and for some unfortunate reason they always get this messenger notifications in their window. Hopefully, I think I shouldn't be getting any, at least in this stream. I think if you guys are getting bored, you can fast forward here. These are some details that, again, if you want, you can have them. If you don't feel like, you can just ignore them. Either way, it's fine. The effect is much more beautiful and people won't look or even care about these details, but it's good to have a cleaner image is what I feel. So I'm going through each individual twig here, and so far what I'm doing is I'm only editing the mask here. I have not touched the image or done anything to it, so we can go back anytime, change the framing as well, size as well, and with that we can just select the mask and scale it up or scale it down with the image, so it will copy throughout, mostly at any size, I think. So I'll go with 0 hardness and just blend in this area, because clearly I don't want so much of this corn husk to be visible anyways. So this is the basic editing that we have done. Now what we'll do is quickly, now we can play with the opacity as well. Let's start with 30% and we'll brush in the details that we think should be darker. So this part of the bird should be darker compared to the rest, and so is with this corn. I'm not sure what you call it, but we are going with corn, it seems. And because originally we brushed out the edges at 100%, so now it won't add more to our original 100%, it just add to the area where there is no masking done. So starting with 100% is an advantage here. And I also remember that we don't get that option in Snapseed, so editing in Photoshop is a big plus and big yes. So I think we'll delete some of this shadow on the head and neck portion of the bird, again keeping the opacity at 30% and the hardness of the brush at 0. We can go in and remove some of the shadows that we originally added, so this will blend in nicely with the image. I think this looks good. There's a lot of clicking here, but another option is if you have a Wacom tablet, you can use that instead of using the mouse. Using a mouse is very standard process. And most of us just have the mouse, so I'm showing this demo with a mouse. Anyways, this looks nice. I'm happy with this. What we can do now is create a copy of our levels by pressing Ctrl J and turn off the original one. So now we have a copy of the levels as well. Now we have to select the mask of the copy that we made. Select a big soft brush and yeah, this should. So what we are doing now is just erasing the light or erasing the part where there should be light coming in the image. So in this case it's the right side, so we'll just lightly delete some of this. You can increase, decrease the size, play along with it. It's not hard and fast science here. We are just playing around and we are done. You can go in and add rays around the bird, but I don't think that looks very natural. Even this is fine. And if you remember originally what I had said is we can go back to the levels and increase the shadows as we like. So if you feel that the image can be darker, then you can push the whites output levels even lower. I feel somewhere over here it looks pretty good and natural. Another tip that I would give you is not just keeping the levels at black, go into custom RGBs. So in this case we have a bluish background, so if you go into the blue channel and play with your shadows, you can add a bluish tint to the shadows. That way it looks a bit more natural than just having it in black, right? You can go into green and red channels as well to adjust the color further, or your hue and RGB, back to RGB, and I think we can darken the image a bit more. If you're not happy with this look, you can start over again, make a copy of our original levels and then turn the original one off, select the mask, pick a big brush and do this over again. Either ways, it's good to have a copy or a backup, so you can go back and change something that you didn't like originally. It's not very different, but still smaller differences make or break the image. Anyways, this is my version of it. Now all I have to do is create a new layer, select the brush tool again, opacity should be at 100%, so 0 is the shortcut. Select my watermark brush, paste it, and we are done. So I can save this image now. 15-20 minutes task to achieve this good looking result. I'm sure if you play with it, you'll achieve better results. The more you play, the more you'll get used to it, and if you use a Wacom tablet, you'll get better results definitely. So check that out. Try if you have access to a Wacom tablet, definitely try it out. Anyways, I'll continue this same tutorial but with a different image in Snapseed as well, so stick around for that.